Data 360, party is a central identification entity which holds all the customer records. We know that we map all the profile data with individuals, and we also map these profile data with contact point data model objects. We have a party data model within Data 360, which is a parent object for these individuals and contact point data model objects. A party has a subject area. You can understand this subject area in a form of a relationship between these individuals and contact point data model objects. We map a profile data with individual. We map the same profile data channel addresses with contact point data model objects like contact point email, contact point phone, contact point address, contact point social, etc. Similarly, these are automatically mapped with a parent object which is known as party. Party makes sure that it has the relationship for all these mappings stored in a subject area. The party data model object is a super object which is linked to these individuals and contact point data model objects, and it auto generates a party ID for each mapping you do. Suppose I have a lead 001 and that lead got converted to a contact which can be 002. Technically, these two are different identifiers of a same entity. The same entity can be termed as party. For identity resolution to work, for matching rules and reconciliation rules to work, and system should identify multiple profile as same party, we have to make sure that along with mapping of individuals and contact point data model objects, you should also map these profile data one with party identification data model object. Party identification data model object contains party data which will help in profile unification. In this party identification data model object, we have few attributes like party identification ID, we have party type, we have party name, we have party number. So party identification data model object is a sub object within the party data model which also should be mapped with profile data along with individuals and contact point data model objects. If you map these with party identification data model objects, then the profile reconciliation, the profile unification will have a solid case to identify what are the matching profiles and how to reconcile them. Typically within party identification data model object, we have few attributes which you have to map with the profile data along with individual and contact point data model objects. For example, we have party identification ID. This party identification ID determines the party ID of a particular individual. As I said, party is a super object. As it is a super object, it auto generates a party ID. So we need not to map anything with party identification ID within the party identification data model object, because once the profile reconciliation rules work, the party identification ID can be auto generated by Salesforce, and this party identification ID can be a master ID to link duplicate profiles we are storing about a customer within Data 360. The other attribute we have is party. Now party is a foreign key which you can map if you have stored that data within your system. For example, you have a legacy CRM system and a current Salesforce CRM system. Client has migrated from legacy CRM system to Salesforce CRM system. Now within the legacy CRM system, they might be storing the same customer details with different identifiers. Later they migrated to Salesforce ecosystem. Salesforce generated lead and contact IDs which are auto generated. Now while you do migration, you can bring those legacy IDs and store inside a custom field within lead or contact. This custom field which you have created to store legacy ID can act as your foreign key, which can be mapped to party attribute within party identification data model object. The other attribute we have within party identification data model object is party type, which determines what kind of data you are bringing. Are these your data which has come from social channel, or are these data which came from your web visits or new signups, app downloads? You can write down a text field and map it with the party identification type within party identification data model object. Then we have party identification number. This party identification number can be your lead or contact ID which you have mapped with individual ID, and can also be mapped with party identification number. Then we have party identification name. You can tell which type of customers you are bringing. For example, are these your driver details? Are these the accounts, or are these your wholesalers? Are these your vendors? These kind of information can be stored within party identification name. Party identification data model object is a sub object within party data model. Whenever we map all these data, it creates a unified party data model object. The party data model object contains individuals, and again individuals were mapped from leads, contacts, were mapped from other profiles you have got inside the data 360. So party will also have mapping to source objects like leads, contacts, which were mapped to individual. Party will also have mapping with contact point data model objects like contact point social, contact point email, contact point phone. Party will also have mapping with unified profile after reconciliation. The party will also have mapping with unified profiles as well as unified profile contact point data model objects like unified profile contact point email, unified profile contact point phone, because after reconciliation rule we get unified profile data model objects and unified profile contact point objects. So party will also have mapping with these data model objects. So party is a super object which contains every data of a customer before unification and after unification.